One time you got large, lemonade with white ice, water with ice.
What a good reaction.
Alright, where's Nick?
It is strong. Shit. I think this one's ready. I'm so good at it.
Back home in T-Town.
2 out of the 3.
So you've been home, what, 3 days?
Yeah, 3 days.
3 days and you're already back at it, man. This the first you've done since you got back?
Yeah.
And ready to leave.
Ready to leave?
See ya.
Yeah, you were chilling pretty good over there.
We have a place to go. I hope you understand. Thinking about this all day long.
There's someone in this crazy world for you. So here
A lot of food. A big old burger. Wings. Onion rings. Did you get yours without cheese? Yeah, that's a big ass burger.
Paul, would you mind?
You're blocking half the words. Don't you need a lot of friends like me?
Yeah. One more.
Nice. Nice blower, babe. Good morning, everybody. Good morning from Texas. Well, we came to Texas for multiple reasons. One reason is Melinda, on her green card status, is not supposed to reside in her home country for a year or more without exiting, or it could affect her green card status. Now, she can be in another country besides her home country and it won't affect it. But if she's residing back in her home country without returning to the US or into another country, they will consider that she's not really needing that green card. I'll just kind of sum it like that. And it could affect her status. So we need to come back for her green card status. Then the second part is we have business come here and take care of, paperwork and stuff and different things that need to go on. I need to collect on my leases where my land's leased out, renew the leases on that. And then we wanted to get rid of some rent houses. And so we wanted to get back here and sell 2 more houses and 2 vacant lots. And these were investment houses. And the market's up good right now. Big old birds there too. No, there was deer there, and there's something dead back there. There's buzzards there too. We'll walk over and see what those buzzards are eating. Might be fish floated up on that pond. Or hot weather, the water might have turned over, oxygen deprived water, and kill some fish, because there's a lot of buzzards around that pond right now. Now I watched the deer head out. I seen its white tail too. It was hopping out of there. It heard me talking. So we ended up on contracts on the houses. Very easy, very easy. They've already went to title company. The title company's already done their title research. Is easy to do, and everything's set already. They've already done inspections and all. So as long as things don't fall apart, we're set to close in a few days. Hopefully that closings will all go well. That's success, more success. That's what we were here for. Also wanted to get rid of other things like my hay equipment. So the other day I got each piece of equipment out and used it, and then I moved each piece of equipment out by the road here to sell it. I've got an old tractor that I wanted to get rid of. I put it out there. I put some plows and things and all. And yesterday I had good luck that 2 different people bought all of that equipment. It's also all sold, and they'll be picking it up. So another good lick. Mel and I, we're going to crawl through a fence here and go over to this pond and see what these buzzards are eating. Let's go over there and look. It is just so dry and brown. As you see here, more deer scat. But what were the buzzards all back here for?
You just want to drink water?
Nah, When they're grouped up like that, they're eating something. Guarantee it's probably going to be fish. This pond is getting low. Look at it. And it's really down, and that water will get hot and stagnant. So they were hanging out over here on this one side.
Oh, it's a lot of dead fish.
I figured so. There it is. That's what we was talking about. Lots of dead fish.
So it means there's a lot of fish here.
The water turned. Look at the whole shore is covered in dead fish.
So it means a lot of fish here before. I was up, there's no fish here.
Look at this.
Oh, shit.
There's a pretty good deer track right there. And check this out right here.
Oh, wow.
That's 2 tracks stepped into each other right there. Yeah, lots of dead fish.
What kind of fish is one? Like a bluegill? No?
Yeah, they're like a perch. And there's other species in there too, numerous fish. So the whole pond's encircled with dead fish, even floating all out in the middle. Look, Mal. Yeah, this is what happens when it gets this hot here. These ponds, the water will get so hot, and then it'll turn over. And what I mean by turn over is that the cooler water down deep will all of a sudden roll over up to the top, and the hot water go down, and it will cause a mass die-off of fish, lack of oxygen.
It's a lot of waste. No.
Just look at this. It's just horrible.
It is a lot.
Just absolutely horrible.
I remember that a couple years in our property.
Oh, my camera stopped. So right here is where deer stepped in right here to get water here at this pond that is just horribly polluted with dead fish right now. So this is where it's so important for raccoons and other varmints to come feed on these. That's why you don't want to wipe out those things like that. They play their part in nature. And these buzzards, they play their part in nature. It's very important they clean this up. But Look how many young fish were in this pond, and we're talking about all the way around, 360 around it, and floating out in the middle.
I didn't know that there's a lot of fish here. I was thought when you try before. I never seen any.
Well, these are just little, man, look how, there's so many of them, and they're small. Which mean even little bitty ones, which means that
They already eat the big one because I see a lot of hair there that they already been.
yeah, either they drug out the big ones or there wasn't enough big ones in here to feed on these smaller fish to keep them from overpopulating. Here's a lot of deer tracks again.
It's a big. It is. Yeah, it is a deer. It's kind of big.
Well, it's a track over top of a track.
Oh.
Yeah, it's two different steps. Man, look at that. Just look at that. That's horrible. And that's why I was worried about the pond behind our house happening. I was thinking about running a pump out there. So, man, the water's really down. Lots of deer tracks. These used to not be buried, and I had these out here for the catfish to go inside and breed inside these tubes and these culverts. But they're getting all buried in the mud now.
It's smelly. I can smell it here and there.
Yeah, man, all the way around. It's all the way around it.
No wondering that there's a lot of mussels too.
Yep, I knew something was going on. I was just hoping it wasn't another deer. I figured it might have been the fish. It is just so hot here in Texas right now. So if you that's been with us for a while, remember seeing me play on a jet ski on a small pond, and y'all are laughing, kind of redneck. But the fact is that I kept that old jet ski here for backing down in the water and using it as a pump for aerating. But the fact is, I used to just back it down. I had another one before it. I did the same thing. I would just back it down in the ponds, put a wire on the throttle or like a zip tie the eyelet up a little fast, and use that to aerate these ponds to keep this right here from happening. You get some oxygen stirred up into that water, makes a huge difference in it sitting and going stagnant like that right there. It will recover, believe it or not, it will recover, and that doesn't mean everything's gone. Fish will still survive down in there in that. Beautiful property. I hope y'all don't mind just doing a walk and talk with us, and we're just telling about life and stories. Just outside that tree line right there, there's a fence line right there, this side of that creek. And all that field you see up in there, where there's a few scattered trees, it's about 152 acres over there. A solar company has come into the area putting in those huge solar farms. And while I was in the Philippines, Mike, that rents a house from me here at the farm, he told me that there's this company, this power company, as he said, which is what they are, solar power, that was wanting to buy or lease my land and in one place have a right of way through some of my land over here at another place. I said, no, I don't want no power company easement across my property, and I'm not interested. Sell it. Now, what does that have to do with that property over there? Well, they went to other landowners around in the area too, and they leased his 152 acres and for a 50-year lease. He was telling me that on his property they were giving him, like, for the first year, $10,000 for the lease, and that's why they just get the lease initiated. And the second, they give $300 an acre, and that's why they're getting permitted and they're doing their build out. And on the third year, it goes to $600 per acre for a 50-year lease, and they handle all taxes and everything on top of that. So it'll drop it out of ag. So now it's going to have to pay full taxes. And what I mean by drop out of ag means an ag exemption on property tax, which lowers your tax way down. Like all of this is in ag. So they handle all the property taxes as well. maintaining the property, because of course they're going to have a big solar farm on it. There is an adjustment for cost of living through the years that'll raise that even beyond 600 an acre. When he passes on, whoever inherits this property or whatever will assume that lease, but they're still going to be committed to it. Now there's a buy option in there that the solar company could just buy the property if you wanted to sell it to them. And they're going to have a pretty good chokehold on it because they got a big solar farm and lease on it for 50 years, excuse me. They're wanting to talk to me on some of my property over here where I'm living here, where my house is. And this place here is a big no-go right here. I will never lease this out to be developed in that way. I don't want to see the trees destroyed. There's a couple 100-year-old oak trees, and I mean all age range, just some great big ones in this property and history. I don't want to see its demise. It's a no-go for me. Just get what you can, leave the rest. We'll just get what we can of it. You may help you pull it. I'm going to explore it with them. Don't mean I'm going to do it, but I'm going to explore it with them. They're going to come see me on Tuesday, and we're going to sit down and talk. My friend Bob that already signed with them, and some other people here signed with them, they took the leases to attorneys, and the attorneys verified that they're legit leases. Let me help Mel out. Trying to get this twine up here. You hold this. Watch it. There's some other trash. Put your palm under right there. There you go. And I'll get this. Mr. Blackjack, you're so good, buddy. Yeah. Mr. Blackjack, you're so good. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're so good. I love you. Oh, well, pull up your back. I can see your tee back. I have to edit out video. Or I'll leave it and get more views.